Howdy Grubs! As a YouTuber, I make videos about games more than I actually play them, so I thought I barely played any games anymore. I decided that I needed to change this, and I decided to challenge myself to beat 100 games this year. With 2 months left in the year, I'm at 95 games. So with my victory assured, it's time I talked about the games that I played. I kinda put this video off a little too long though. There are only 60 days left in the year, so not every game is going to get a full video. That's fine though. Not every game really needs a full video. Much of what I played, you're probably already familiar with. I did play a lot of games outside of this too, so this list could have been longer had I focused only on beatable experiences, but this meant I basically had 3.5 days to beat each game. You might think I only played the short stuff, but I think you'll be surprised how long some of these were, like the Ratchet series being only around 10 to 11 hours for the first playthrough, but because I was 100%ing them, they ended up being closer to 38 to 50 hours for each title. But enough jibber jabber, it's time we dig in. The first game I beat this year was 10 Million. This is a game I bought a long time ago, and it's pretty fun. I've always liked Puzzle Quest, the match 3 puzzle RPG, so I was very excited to play 10 Million once I found out that it existed. In Puzzle Quest, you make an adventurer and then do quests on a giant map. Your combat and pretty much every interaction in the game is handled by match 3 puzzle mechanics. It's really funny in a sense how seriously it's taken, like how Yu-Gi-Oh! Every problem is caused or resolved by playing duel monsters. Battling for the soul of your grandfather? We do duel monsters. Slap my girl's ass? We do duel monsters. But in Puzzle Quest combat, you'll take turns with the opponent monster and match colorful gems for abilities and spells, coins for money, purple stars for XP, and skulls for damage. When you match 4 of a kind or more, you get an extra turn, but since your opponent can match gems, you have less control over the setups. But the spells in these games are huge on their effects. You can completely change who is in control of the game at any moment. Some will refill your mana, like the colorful gems do. Some will remove gems from the board. Others will change one gem into another. And of course, the classic damage dealers and turn denials. It's like Bejeweled, but for people who never want to stop playing it and like reading several books worth of text. 10 Million is more of a scaled back version of this. In 10 Million, you play an adventurer who wakes up in a dungeon and has to match 3 his way out. Similar to Puzzle Quest, you'll match swords and wands to do damage, stone and wood to collect resources, keys to open chests, bags to get items, and stuff like that. To add pressure, the game doesn't work on health, it works on time. You have a limited amount of time, and as you get hit, you lose it, but as you defeat obstacles, you get time back. You gain this time back by time spent running to the right and matches made during this time, so you're constantly matching. But your swords and wands aren't applied to the next enemy, so you can hold a piece to prepare for the next thing, or you can keep matching regardless of the potential of damage lost on the next combat. You're constantly doing something. The opponent also doesn't get to match gems on your board, so when it attacks, you always lose time. Matching is different too. Rather than swapping 2 adjacent pieces like Puzzle Quest or Bejeweled, you have to slide the whole row or column over, kind of like Meteos. This has you quickly making matches trying to kill enemies as fast as possible, while also clearing out obstacles like chests. In typical JRPG fashion, you'll find yourself hoarding items like spell balls for damage, keys for doors, and chest locks, and the game can quickly become overwhelming. As you go on, you'll have to complete quests in order to unlock the next dungeon rank. The dungeon rank serves as a difficulty modifier. With higher dungeon rank comes tougher monsters, but also a score multiplier getting you closer and closer to that big scary 10 million. With higher dungeon rank comes new skills and facilities though. At the trainer, you can exchange XP for skills like increased time reward for certain matches, increased resource gain, and other passives like auto-blocking. The staff room lets you buy magic-related upgrades for staff gems, the blacksmith for swords, shield room for shield gems, the armor shop for armor upgrades, and then lastly, the alchemist shop for game-altering artifacts in the form of potions which have different rewards in exchange for a debuff, like increased stone and wood gain in exchange for receiving 0 XP on XP-based matches. You can beat 10 million in about 10 hours, but once you beat it, there's still more to unlock and do. I wanted to show you gameplay from the end of the game so you could see how hectic it gets. Unfortunately, saves are local, and I upgraded my PC. My last PC I wiped to turn it into a Batocera console for the living room so that we could play light gun games. The game is much longer than I thought it would be for how simple it is, but even when I beat it, I definitely felt like I wasn't done with it yet. I set it aside for a while with the intent to return to it, but now I can't. Overall, this is a great game to play while watching something else. It sucks that it doesn't have controller support, and I think it might be too fast for Steam Deck's touchscreen and pads. I'll have to give it a try if I return to it, but most of the time I was spent watching YouTube while playing it. It's really good for that. My only gripe really is that there's too many different gem types for how small the board is, and it makes it hard to do matches because there's just too much stuff. Each separate item waters down the pool and is something that could be a different gem that could be more useful for matching. I wish there was a way to have less gems on the board, basically, less different kinds of gems on the board. The cool thing is, though, I don't actually have to be done with 10 million. The developers made a sequel called You Must Build a Boat, and I picked that up when I finished 10 mil, so I'll have to beat that one this year too. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to see the list of games that I beat, you can check out my lists on Backlogged. It's in the description. It's a social media site where you can make lists of games and leave reviews for a game regardless of the system that the game is on. It's been incredibly useful for this whole thing, so I love it. I was a backer for a while too until I forgot to renew my subscription, so I'll have to fix that. But I'll see you later. Don't forget to tip your YouTuber. I take likes, subscribes, and gem emojis. Bye!